We have some other great speakers that are going to be joining the stage here shortly. We want to make sure that everybody is able to connect. Please know that you can make a comment in the chat. We are here. We can see you live. Please, please, please give us a connection. And it looks like our new next speaker has graced the stage. Stacey, I am so glad that you're here and you are absolutely killing it in that red. And so that means you are bringing power and fiery goodness to the WEN stage today. Thank you so much for being here. I will let you introduce yourself, and I'm excited to hear your story.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited. You're doing a
Absolutely.
fantastic job hosting it, so it's a lot of fun, and I'm enjoying the other speakers. So,
Yes, thank you.
to introduce myself, my name is Stacey Hylen, and I'm a business coach. I have been coaching for over 20 years. So, like one of the other speakers said, made it through all those bumps and bruises. Been there, done that. I work with high achieving business owners to help them add a zero without the hustle. So I've taken clients from 0 to 6 figures, 6 to 7 figures, and I've even helped people go all the way from 6 figures to 8 figures in their business. Now, in the last 20 years, I also served as vice president of consulting with Tony Robbins. So when she said I'm wearing the red and bringing the energy, that's because I'm a former Tony Robbins person. So it's all about that big energy, right? And so most people ask me when I say that I worked with Tony, they say, well, what was it like working with Tony? And they want to know about it. But what I think is that the really smart people want to know what I learned from working with Tony because he has $1 billion in businesses. That's what most people don't realize. So, who wants to know what I learned working with Tony? Because I'm going to share some of those gems with you today. Now, one of the things that we're going to talk about is how to easily find the hidden profits in your business so that you can add some cash to your business before the end of the year. Who loves to have cash before the holidays come up, right? Everybody. So that's why when I was like November, this is perfect timing for this. So, as a business owner, the challenge is that we have to do everything. There's so many things to do. And what I hear from a lot of people is that it's not working as well as they want. You see the bright and shiny, what I call Insta coaches on Facebook, on Instagram, and they're saying, "Oh, just do this little thing. I made $10,000. You can make $10,000." It's not it's not a proven system. It's they've done one thing one time and then they're trying to teach it to other people. And so you want to be a lot more strategic in what you're doing. So this leads me to what happened when I worked with Tony. So it was 2008 and the start of the last recession. And we were at the very first business mastery event in Las Vegas. People had paid $10,000 to be there. People were a little bit panicked at this point. So if you were in business back then, you probably remember this that, all of a sudden the banks weren't lending money anymore, which is just starting to happen since last week with all the crypto meltdown. And so Tony had somebody stand up in the audience to get coaching. Now, when he did this, the guy stood up and said, I've tried everything and nothing works. Right. And that's the thing as a business owner, you're trying a little of this, you're trying a little of that, and it doesn't work. So Tony asked him if he was open for coaching, and the guy said yes. So Tony said, well, tell me, what have you tried? And the guy said, well, I tried this, like 2 or 3 things. So Tony paused and then he said, well, okay, you've tried 2 or 3 things. How many times did you try? And he said, well, I've tried like 2 or 3 times. So at this point, everybody in the audience is like, uh-oh, like Tony's gonna like his head is gonna start to spin because the guy said, I've tried everything. And he tried 2 or 3 things 2 or 3 times. Right. So what Tony asked him, he said, why didn't you try again? Or what stopped you from keeping going when you didn't have the resource? And he said, I didn't have the resources. And that brings back to Marilyn catching the fish, right? She got really resourceful. And so Tony said, have you ever seen anybody be more successful than you with less when they started? And the guy said, well, yeah, you see on the covers of Entrepreneur or Success Magazine, you see entrepreneurs that started with nothing. They came to this country with $300 in their pocket, and now they're multi-million dollar businesses. And Tony said, so here's the thing. It wasn't that they didn't have enough, you didn't have enough resources. It was that you weren't resourceful. And everybody in the audience was like, oh, right? So it's like Marilyn with that bread that she caught the fish. And so this is what I want for you, is to become more resourceful, not to flit around trying a bunch of different things. So when the things that you look at what you've tried, maybe you've tried webinars, maybe you've tried challenges, maybe you've tried Facebook ads, all these things that people are like, this is the magic bullet, this is the thing, versus staying in the challenge and becoming resourceful with it. So what I want you to do is look at your business that you have right now. And if you already have clients, these hidden profit challenge are going to help you so much, because you are overlooking money that's right there in your business right now. Now, the average person that takes one of my hidden profit programs, they find $85,000 in hidden profit in their business. Now, what I mean by hidden profit, these are things that you can do for a quick bump in cash without doing any more marketing or advertising, zero. And so that's what's awesome about it, because the ROI is great. So what we're going to do is today, I'm going to take you through as many as I can in the short amount of time that Haley's given us here to help you find some of this money in your business. So one of the things that are working really, really well for my clients. So the first one is what I call the fear factor. The fear factor is raising your rates. Now, you're seeing a lot of people saying, like, do high ticket, do this. What I want you to do is look at what you have in your business and say, no, that if you've been doing it for a while and you are an expert at what you do, that it is time to raise your rates. The rates, everything's, going up. You've heard of the inflation, whether it's butter, whether it's broccoli, it doesn't matter. Things are increasing in price, and you as a business owner need to be doing this as well. Now, some of my business owners, when we first start coaching, they might not have raised their rates for 7 years or 3 years. It doesn't matter. It's time to raise your rates. So here's the first thing that you need to do. And I want you to write this down because this is really important. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to own your value, right? Because the reason why I called this fear factor is everything goes back to mindset. Is that if you do not have that mindset in place when you do this strategy, you're just going to try it and then you're going to run to the next thing. You're going to try it and run to the next thing. You need to have the mindset that this is going to work for you. And here's why. So here's some of the things that you're going to do. You're going to open a file either on your computer or do it in paper, old-fashioned way. But I want you to collect every single testimonial you've ever gotten. I want you to collect every single win that you've had. Like, what are the wins that you've had in your business? What are some of the ahas that people have had? What are some of the positive feedback that you've received that you haven't even noted? Like, it's an American thing, a North American thing. We just slough off those compliments, right? We don't celebrate the wins. I had a client that had started with me when he was at 6 figures and he got to 8 figures. And he literally just in conversation said, oh yeah, we hit $10 million today. I forgot. He did not stop to celebrate hitting $10 million. So this is why this part is so important, to get this file of all of the wins. Like, take a snapshot for yourself of all of the good things you're doing, because this is what's going to help your mindset when you go to raise your rates. Okay, so you're going to have this folder, keep adding to it. Every time you get a win, every time you get a compliment, throw it in there. And not just for raising your rates, anytime you're having a hard day in business, you get that out and look at it. Okay, so now the second step is to decide how much you're going to raise your rates. Now, there's different ways to do this. The first way is to do it by percentage. So you're going to raise your rates 10%, 20%, or you could raise it by a dollar amount. So you might want to go, from $50 to $79, whatever that price point may be. Now, some of my clients, they've actually raised their business. They've doubled and tripled their business and halved the amount of time they're working from doing this. Okay. So I'll give you an example with somebody that did this. Chiropractor. Super simple. $5 price increase. And you're like, $5? That's nothing, right? So I just wanted to show you how small this can be. And this is the hidden profit math that's really, really important to do. So $5 a session, she raised the price, 70 patients a week at 50 weeks per year that she works is $17,500 in increase in her business without doing another piece of marketing, without spending another dollar on anything. Now, times that times two doctors in her practice, it was over $35,000 in increases, right? So that's just a $5 increase. I wanted to break this down to the absolutely ridiculous for you so you can see. So what I want you to do is decide what you want to raise it, multiply that times the amount of clients that you normally have, and then look at what that number is going to be, which is going to pull you towards it. Tony always says you do things for two reasons: to avoid pain, right? Which is what we're doing with the WEN folders. We're avoiding that pain. We're focusing on the pleasure, and to move towards something that you want. So you're putting out that price to see what the possibility of it is, the hidden profit. So it gives you the courage to move towards it. And then you're going to announce that rate increase. So you're going to choose a deadline and you're going to announce the rate increase and let people know about it. And this is going to do two things. Number one, it's going to give you a line in the sand as a business owner that you know what date it's going to happen, right? Because you've announced it. Number two, all of your clients are going to see it and they're going to buy before the price goes up, right? So it's going to give you a quick boost in sales right now at the current pricing, and then you're going to get the boost after you increase the prices in the future. Now, one of the things people ask me is like, what about my existing clients? Now you have a choice there, right? This is your business. You can either raise the rates for everybody, or you can decide to have some legacy pricing for people that have already been your clients, that you're going to keep that pricing for them, but you're always going to let them know what the new rate is. So they can see like, oh, I'm paying $500, but the new pricing is $600. It's going to make them want to stay with you longer. Okay. So that's the easy way to do it. I want you to do this even if you're scared, right? It's normal. People are scared about this. They're worried about what people are going to say. My clients were scared. The ones that have doubled and tripled their businesses in working half the amount of time, they were scared. Now they come to coaching sessions with me and they'll say, you know what? I've gotten a bunch of clients at this rate and it feels really easy. I think it's time to raise my rates again. So that's what I want for you, is to feel really confident with this and that you step into doing this on a regular basis. All right, so that's one of the hidden profits. And that's going to be in my book that's coming out in the new year. So I'm really excited that you're going to be able to see all of the hidden profits with all of the steps of how to do them. So the second one is what I call the come on back strategy. Now, this strategy started from a mistake, the $700,000 mistake. I had a client and he canceled his coaching session, and that doesn't normally happen. So I was a little bit surprised. And he said, well, I have to cancel it because I just got this big client, $100,000 sale. So in my coaching business, we always do the happy dance. And I was like, oh my gosh, we're going to do a happy dance, $100,000 client. And he's like, Stacey, this was not a happy dance moment. And I said, well, how could a $100,000 sale not be a happy dance moment? And this is when the learning came. He said, this client that just bought the $100,000 thing had been going to my competitor for the last 7 years. 7 years. So he had lost $700,000 in sales by not noticing when clients left and bringing them back into the business. Okay. So most people, again, it goes back to the mental mindset. Most people don't do this because they're too shy, they're too scared, they're worried about what people will think. I'll give you an example. So if you've ever gone to a hairdresser, type hairdresser in the chat, and you've left and gone to another hairdresser, what happens is most people will not go back to the first hairdresser. And here's why: they're shy. They don't want to make them feel bad. Well, the same thing is happening in your business. Now, when I asked a bunch of hairdressers when I was doing a speaking gig, like, how do you feel when people come back? They're like, we always welcome people back. Like, it's normal to, you can't get an appointment, so you just want to change, whatever. We're happy to have you back. So, what you want to do is you want to give your clients permission to come back to you. Now, I'll give you an example. One of my clients had taken my Hidden Profits program, and it was at Christmas time, and she was in the very worst niche to try to get clients to come back over Christmas. Can anybody guess what it was? Like, I would love to see in the chat what you guys think that might be. Um, Here's what it was. It was weight loss, right? Because everybody wants to lose weight, but they don't want to lose weight at Christmas. They don't want to skip grandma's cookies or the holiday parties or whatever it is that their traditions are, right? But she was an implementer and she said, I'm going to do this. I really need to do this. I need a boost in cash. So, what we did is we made a list, and this is your action step. So, write this down. Write a list of the clients that have left that you want to have come back. And I'm a big believer in only working with your perfect clients. So, if you have some nightmare clients that you don't want back, do not put them on the list. So, you're going to make a list of these clients, and then you're going to create an offer for them, a special come on back offer. And then all you're going to do is reach out to them. You can do this in an email sequence. You can do it in a phone call. You can do a little personalized video for them and create a deadline for it. So here's the come on back offer that I have for you. And it's good until this time so that they know when that offer is good through. And one thing I will tell you is, who are really good at this is dentists, right? Because nobody wants to go back to the dentist. They hate it. So they'll call you, they'll send you a postcard, any kind of medical, they have a lot of systems for this. But regular business owners are not doing this, and this is a huge hidden profit. Now, here's what happened with that client in the weight loss. Remember, nobody wants weight loss at Christmas? She increased her sales over $10,000 in 2 weeks. And then in the new year, she went on to increase even more because people that didn't come back right away came back in the new year when they were ready. But it also put her to the top of them, remembering that she was out there existing. And also, they didn't go and try another weight loss program in January because they were like, oh, she's going to welcome me back, even if I've gained a few pounds back. So make sure you put this into your calendar that you're going to do this when clients have been gone for 6 months, a year, whatever it is in your business. It depends on your business how long that time frame is. That's good to keep welcoming them back. But it's great to get a good boost in cash flow right away, right now, to do this. And so that's the second way to get cash before the holidays. So I'm going to give you one more way. I'm trying to get all of these in for you so you can choose. You can choose one of the hidden profits. You can stack these, right? And if you stack them, you're going to get even more. So the third one is an upsell. What I call, you want fries with that? So when I was a kid, McDonald's, my mom would take us there and we would get a hamburger, one of those little tiny hamburgers. And then they started saying, do you want fries with that? And what they found is that a huge percentage of people, 30-40% of the people, and I think even more, would say yes to the French fries. Now, what has happened is a lot of these fast food places now offer trios. That's just how they do it. Now you don't even buy just a hamburger. You go in and say, I want the cheeseburger trio or the Big Mac trio, whatever it is. So now they're offering to supersize it, or they're offering you an apple pie or something else. So an upsell is increasing the sale at the time of purchase. Okay. So when your clients are making a buying decision, they already have their wallets open. They're already excited about it. That's the best time to ask them to make another purchase. So I'll give you an example of one of my clients. He had, a business, a brick and mortar business. He had a very bad team that in his intake questionnaire, he was telling me all the problems that he had with this. And he also had some big box competitors that had come into his town and were doing, big television ads, billboards, everything. And he was a, small store. He couldn't do it. Um, so when I got the first call with him, I said, all right, well, we're going to have to like reorganize your staff and get rid of, clean house. And he said, Stacey, I cannot get rid of these employees. He said, number one, it was in the recession. Number two, some of them were his uncles. They were like 80 years old. They would never find another job. Other ones were his nephews. He said, I would not be able to hold my head up in church if I let go of my team, especially during this economic place that we're at right now. So this is again where I put on that resourceful hat, right? Of how can we make more money with the existing resources we have and put in an upsell. So here's the how you're going to do this. You create a list of your top products or services that you offer. You choose one. In his case, we chose oil changes because that was his most popular thing. People would come in to do a do-it-yourself oil change. He then, now I knew nothing about cars, nothing. Well, I mean, I know a little, but I didn't know what the upsell should be. We determined the best upsell was an air filter, right? So all we did was choose the number one product, choose the upsell, and then we created a little script for his team to use. Say, when you get the oil change is a really good time to add an air filter. Would you like to add an air filter at the same time? It helps with gas mileage, it helps with cooling, blah, blah, blah. He put the benefits to that in it. In 1 month, he increased his sales 48% over the and the really exciting thing about this was not only did he increase his sales 48%, but he increased it over the year before that was recession time, right? Pre-competitor time. So he was so excited. So I'll give you one more example of this just so you can see how you can do this. Um, there was a mom and pop restaurant in the middle of very rural Pennsylvania. The father and daughter owned it, and the daughter was dead set against the coaching. And so we had to really prove ourselves. This is one of the hidden profit coaches that had this client. And so what we did is we implemented a $5 appetizer upsell. $5, right? Small little things make huge results. In 1 month, it led to an extra $2,000 in sales. So that's an extra $24,000 in sales over a year with one question. Okay. Now you can do this online as well. Whenever you're selling something, look at what is the natural upsell for that product and put it on the checkout as well. So a good place to look at an example of doing that everybody can look at is GoDaddy, that when you register a domain, they're going to say, do you want a website builder tonight? Don't say yes. Do you want an email? Don't say yes, right? But they're going to ask you if you want all of those other things. They're doing their job to ask you about the upsell. So again, you're going to do the top products. You're going to create the upsell for that and then create a script and then just do it. Just do it. So I can't wait, and tell me in the WEN group how much you've found in hidden profits. Again, do that hidden profit math of like, okay, if I sell 10 of these and 30% of them take the upsell, what is that increase in sales that I'm moving towards, right? You want to have something to move towards, something to help you with that fear of doing a new strategy in your business. And I welcome you to follow me, Stacey Hylen, and my last name is Hylen, Hylen, help you leverage everything now. My website is staceyhylen.com. Or if you want a checklist of all the ways that you can boost your clients and cash very quickly, go to moreclientsandcash.com and I have a free checklist there. And there's ways for you to very quickly increase your clients in cash. So I can't wait to see what you've done. Feel free to reach out to me. And remember, don't just learn. You guys have spent the time here today listening to all the speakers. Don't just learn, implement, because that's how you're going to make a difference in your business and also in your family's lives.
Wow, that was amazing. Stacy, I have 3 pages of what someone said gold dust that you just came and sprinkled into the WEN talk today. Thank you so much for all of those nuggets. That's right. You do have some comments here. So
Okay, great.
Jenna Marie's been very active today. She says, "This is so huge." She says, "I've completed with so many clients over the past few years that I would love to reconnect with." So that was your come on back,
Yeah,
right? That's
yeah,
what she's talking
definitely.
about.
And
And
again,
then,
people might be shy to go back to you because they've tried another virtual assistant service, and they just wanna know that it's okay, that they can come back,
mhm,
right? Give
give
them a good
people
reason.
permission, right?
Yeah.
You're giving them permission to do so. And Diane says, "This is gold dust." She says, "Upsells, air filter, brilliant." I can hear her talking right now and laughing. Um, yeah, and they're saying, "Create a script and just do it." It's literally that simple. One of the things I like you said was to actually pick your top favorite products, the ones that are probably selling the most, and just add it, and then list out the features and benefits, and do it in a comfortable way. And more than likely, your folks are gonna say, "Yeah, that it's it's so easy to do that." That is, I love the way that you put that.
Thank
Everybody's
you.
saying thank you so much. Haley says, "Don't just learn, implement." Yes,
Yeah, just
implement.
choose one. You have, like, 3
Yeah,
pages of notes, choose one and just do it right away, and then put on your calendar, "Okay, I'm gonna add another one."
yeah,
Right? Because
yeah,
that's really important because these like I said, the average client finds $85,000 in these hidden profits in their business. So,
yeah. Yeah. Her name is Stacey Hylen, Hylen. Someone's just asking about your name again because obviously they love what you're saying. And they're like, "We want to connect with her." So thank you so much, Miss Stacey. You have been phenomenal today. The tips that you've given are amazing. And I can't wait to connect with you personally offline